All right, we've got the WPI numbers up for you on the screen and they've been flashing. Latha's had a closer look and she's joining in to give us her first take on this. Latha.
Well, first of all, what hits you is that yesterday we said the consumer price inflation is up 7%, almost 6.93 compared to a year ago. So consumer prices were 7% higher than what we paid for it last year. But if you look at the wholesale level, prices are lower. I mean, look at the overall index itself is lower by about 0.5%. Of course, it's not as bad as it was in June when prices were even lower than the June of previous month. But if you look at, manufactured products, the change from July is, from last July is a very marginal. Manufactured products are up only 0.5%. I'm wanting you to compare all this with consumer price. Consumer prices are up 7%, whereas wholesale prices are down 3% when it comes to food and fuel. They are down, they're up by just about 0.5% when it comes to manufactured. As you can see, primary articles are practically where they were in the previous year, same month. So what does this explain? This is exactly what economists are saying, that there is no real inflation in the country because there is no demand. But retail inflation is higher because goods are not reaching from the main markets to the peripheries. It is a transport dislocation. It is a supply logistics problem that is creating the inflation, and therefore the Reserve Bank should not take this inflation very seriously. But when it comes to food, even at the wholesale level, things are rather bad. As you can see, vegetables running at 8%, potatoes running at 69%. Food inflation is genuinely high, whether you're looking at the wholesale index or at the retail index. But overall inflation, if you look at it, it's not as bad when you look at the wholesale number. It is more a retail supply issue. But food, no, it is bad at the wholesale, bad at the retail.
Okay, all right, Latha, thanks so much for running us through that particular data point that just came in. Well, let's move on and let's get you a CNBC TV exclusive then. We learned from sources that in fact Vodafone Idea as well as Bharti Airtel, they're looking at taking some tariff hikes in the next couple of months. Kritika Saxena, she's joining in to fill us in with what she's picking up. Kritika, take it away.
Well, remember in December, a massive tariff hike had been implemented across telecom companies, including Bharti Airtel, Vodafone Idea, Reliance Jio. This started from 10% and went up to 40%. Now, we understand that a second tariff hike is likely soon, but this time around, we're not going to see a significant jump. What may happen, according to our sources, is that they are going to stagger it across their various tariff plans and across time. So, perhaps over the next 1 year, these tariff hikes are going to be implemented, and they'll be done in a manner to ensure that the pain to the customers is as less as possible. So to begin with, we understand that a hike of about 2 to 5% is likely in select plans, and this could go up to 10% in the medium term. So that's what our sources are telling us at this point. Both Bharti Airtel and Vodafone Idea are looking at doing this at this point. We haven't been able to confirm plans as far as Jio is concerned, but a tariff hike, according to my sources in these two companies, is going to be the lever that they need to be able to increase ARPUs, even if the Supreme Court does agree to a 15 to 20 year staggered payment tenure. Even at that point, they will need the tariff hike. But a final decision, I understand from my sources, is going to be taken once the AGR verdict is in. And of course, a lot of decisions are just pending the AGR verdict, and then they can decide operationally what the road forward is. No comments from Bharti Airtel. Vodafone Idea says that this is speculative.
Kritika, thanks a lot for that. We were just talking about retail and wholesale inflation, and the news that you bring to us may pinch our pockets a little more as far as the cell phone bills are concerned. But stocks are more focusing on the big news that is likely at 3 today. Supreme Court's judgment on the AGR issue. Rima joins us to fill us in on more details on this. Rima, what's on the order?
On hand are two key issues which the Supreme Court needs to deliberate upon. One, how will the government recover its dues from the insolvent telecom companies which have filed for insolvency, the likes of Reliance Communication, Aircel, Sistema, amongst others. And point number two is how much time should be given to incumbent players like Bharti Airtel and Vodafone Idea to repay their dues. Because the word that the Supreme Court had used, the judge had used, is they should be given a reasonable time. So what exactly constitutes reasonable? will be something that needs to be decided. So these two issues are at hand when the Supreme Court meets today at 3 o'clock. Let me just dwell a little bit more on point number one, which is that the insolvent companies. Yesterday, State Bank of India filed a petition in the Supreme Court saying, asking permission to intervene on behalf of Reliance Communication lenders. They say that the spectrum is an asset of the company, which means that under insolvency, the DOT, which is an operational creditor of the company, needs to be paid according to the rules of IBC, which means first financial creditors, i.e. banks, get paid, and then operational creditors, i.e. in this case, the DOT will get paid. But more crucial from a market point of view is how much time is given by the Supreme Court for the telecom companies to repay their dues. The government had asked for 20 years. The telcos said that 15 years could be reasonable. We're talking about massive sums of money. For Bharti Airtel, it's close to 44,000 crore rupees. For Vodafone Idea, it's in excess of 58,000 crore rupees. So that is going to be crucial. Whether or not we get a verdict today, remember that the bench is headed by Justice Mishra, who retires on the 2nd of September. So hopefully in the next 3 weeks at least, we have a verdict. Back to you.
Okay, all right, Rima, thanks so much for that. Well, keep an eye out on the markets. We're back over the 11,350. Earlier today, we were on the verge of breaking the 11,310 odd mark. So a bit of a recovery is what we've seen, and metal stocks are doing well. You could attribute it to Tata Steel's con call right now. What they're saying is that the worst is behind them. That we know, because quarter 2 is going to be much better. They have also said that in June, July, the capacities have ramped up, and in fact, on a monthly basis, they're functioning at 110% odd. So that's positive as well. We'll keep getting you details from there. But it's not just Tata Steel, JSW Steel, even Hindalco is moving up. So the metals pack is moving up, and that explains why, in fact, the Nifty is moving up. But the reason the Nifty moves is when a heavyweight moves. And HDFC Bank was trading with a cut of around 0.5% just around 20 minutes ago. That's moved into the green, very mildly so, and that's the one that really moves it for the Nifty as well as the Nifty Bank. Nifty Bank as well has moved into the green. So let's slip into a short break. You come back, we'll tell you the crucial levels you need to track on the Nifty as well as the Nifty Bank. Prakash Kaba will join us. Stay with us.